Hi everyone, I hope you're all doing well. Before we move to our today, I want to say that today's topic is about calendars, not just the ones we hang on our walls, but the deep ancient science behind them. We'll explore how ancient civilizations measured time with stunning accuracy, how they aligned it with nature, and how some of their calendar systems were more complex and accurate than we imagine today. Let's go back thousands of years. Before digital clocks or monthly planners, humans looked up at the sky and watched the stars, the sun, the moon. From the shifting seasons to the length of a shadow, nature gave early humans the clues they needed. But what's fascinating is how different civilizations developed entirely unique ways of tracking time, sometimes without ever meeting each other. The ancient Sumerians of Mesopotamia, around 3000 BC, used a calendar that divided the year into 12 lunar months. Each month began with the sighting of a new moon. They even added an extra month occasionally, a leap month, to keep their lunar calendar aligned with the seasons. Meanwhile, in Egypt, the ancient calendar was based on the rising of Sirius, a star that reappeared just before the annual flooding of the Nile. This event was so regular, the Egyptians built a 365-day solar calendar around it over 4,000 years ago. Their calendar had 12 months of 30 days each, plus 5 extra days called epagomenal days, which were added at the end of the year. These extra days were considered spiritually powerful, dedicated to honoring the gods. And then there's the Mayan calendar, a topic we'll explore more in upcoming parts. The Mayans didn't just create one calendar, they created multiple systems. The Harb, the Tzolk'in, and the Long Count, all working together. The Tzolk'in was a 260-day calendar used for religious rituals, while the Harb was a 365-day solar calendar. Combined, they formed what's known as the calendar round, a 52-year cycle used to schedule sacred ceremonies and predict cosmic events. Ancient people weren't guessing. They studied astronomy, watched patterns, and developed timekeeping methods that aligned with agricultural, spiritual, and social rhythms of life. Before we go further, I just want to remind you, this channel is user-friendly, no offensive content, no misinformation. We explain things with respect, curiosity, and authenticity. Let's now travel east to ancient China. Long before mechanical clocks, the Chinese had already developed one of the most advanced calendar systems in history. The traditional Chinese calendar is lunisolar, meaning it combines both the moon and the sun to determine months and years. It's based on cycles of the moon, but with solar corrections to keep it aligned with the seasons. One of the earliest versions dates back to the Xia dynasty, more than 4,000 years ago. Each month began with a new moon, and a year typically had 12 lunar months. But since 12 lunar months make about 354 days, they would add a leap month every 2 to 3 years, similar to how we add a leap day in the Gregorian calendar. The calendar also included 24 solar terms, marking the start of seasons, harvest times, and climate patterns. This was crucial for farmers, as planting and harvesting depended on accurate timing. Meanwhile, in India, ancient scholars were writing detailed astronomy texts, like the Vedanga Jyotisha, which explained the timing of rituals and celestial movements. They observed solstices, equinoxes, and planetary positions to create their own sidereal calendar. Sidereal means it's based on the stars, unlike solar calendars based on the sun's movement. The Hindu calendar, also lunisolar, was finely tuned to religious festivals and astrological forecasts, which are still followed in many parts of India today. Now let's head to the Islamic world. The Islamic Hijri calendar is purely lunar, and that's what makes it unique. Each month begins with the visual sighting of the new moon, not mathematical calculations. This makes the calendar important, not just scientifically, but spiritually, especially for Ramadan, Hajj, and Eid celebrations. 12 lunar months total, about 354 days. So Islamic months shift through all seasons, over a 33-year cycle. No leap days or months are added. Time in this calendar flows naturally with the moon's rhythm. And while the Gregorian calendar dominates global systems today, these ancient calendars show us that timekeeping wasn't just about counting days. It was about connecting to nature, predicting weather, scheduling harvests, marking religious life, and even mapping the cosmos. Every civilization had its own time signature, a unique way of reading the universe and structuring society around it. Let's talk about the calendar most of us use today, the Gregorian calendar. But first, there was the Julian calendar, introduced by Julius Caesar in 45 BC. It was designed with the help of an Egyptian astronomer named Sosigenes, who advised Caesar to base the calendar on the sun, not the moon. The Julian year had 365 days, with a leap day every 4 years. It was a major improvement over Roman calendars, which were often manipulated for political reasons. However, it still had a small flaw. A year isn't exactly 365 days. It's closer to 365 That 11-minute difference might seem tiny, but over centuries, it caused the calendar to drift away from the solar year. By the 1500s, Easter was falling, about 10 days too late. So in 1582, Pope Gregory XIII launched a reform. The Gregorian calendar adjusted the leap year rule. Now, years divisible by 100 are not leap years unless they're also divisible by 400. So 1700, 1800, and 1900 were not leap years, but 2000 was. To fix the drift, the reform also skipped 10 days. October 4th, 1582 was followed by October 15. This change was first adopted by Catholic countries like Spain, Italy, and Portugal. Protestant and Orthodox nations adopted it much later, sometimes centuries later. Even today, some Orthodox Christian churches still follow the Julian calendar for religious events. Now let's look at something fascinating, the Antikythera Mechanism, discovered in a Greek shipwreck from the 1st century BCE. This complex device was made of bronze gears and dials. It's often called the world's first analog computer. It could track planetary movements, eclipses, and possibly even predict the Olympic Games. The mechanism included a lunar calendar dial with a 19-year metonic cycle used to harmonize lunar and solar calendars. Its precision stunned scientists. No one expected such complex mechanical engineering in the ancient world. It shows that ancient Greek scholars didn't just observe the sky. They built machines to calculate and model its patterns. And now, as we move forward in our story, you'll see that timekeeping was never a simple task. Across every region and empire, calendars evolved based on astronomical knowledge, cultural needs, and human creativity. As science advanced, so did our ability to track time. In the Islamic Golden Age, astronomers like al-Biruni and al-Khwarizmi calculated equinoxes and lunar visibility with advanced mathematical models. They built observatories, like the one in Maragay, Persia, equipped with massive instruments for celestial observation. In ancient Iran, the Persian calendar emerged, later evolving into what's now known as the Solar Hijri calendar. It's one of the most accurate calendars ever created. Developed with help from scholars like Omar Khayyam, it aligns exactly with the solar year. 365 days, 5 hours, 40 minutes, and 45 seconds. That's even more precise than the Gregorian calendar. This calendar is still used today in Iran and Afghanistan. Let's not forget the indigenous cultures. The Native American ancestral Puebloans used sun daggers and spiral carvings. on rock walls to mark solstices. In Chaco Canyon, New Mexico, a sunbeam would pierce through rock to hit a spiral petroglyph at exactly the summer solstice. This proves that ancient people across all continents were observing the heavens not just for beauty, but to survive, plant, prey, and plan their future. In modern times, we use atomic clocks, devices so accurate they lose only a second every 100 million years. Timekeeping has gone from stone carvings to satellites orbiting Earth, constantly syncing our phones, computers, and systems. But in this journey, one thing becomes clear. Ancient calendars weren't just scientific. They were spiritual, agricultural, and cultural tools, deeply tied to human identity. Understanding them gives us a window into how early civilizations saw the world and their place within it. All the information we provide comes from verified historical sources, including books, records, and archaeology. Key references for this script include Aveni, Anthony, Empires of Time, Calendars, Clocks and Cultures, Krupp, E.C., Echoes of the Ancient Skies, the British Museum Archives, NASA's History Division, the Smithsonian Institution, Oxford Encyclopedia of the Ancient Near East, National Geographic Society, UNESCO Observatory reports. Like, share and subscribe to our YouTube channel, Thrones of Knowledge. And don't forget to press the bell icon to get notified on time. Suggest our next topic in the comment section to help make our journey even better.